Welcome to all. My name is Srinidhi and I will be handling this particular subject, that is operating system and Linux, for the current semester. The subject code is BCAC 231 and it has got 2 credits. Internal assessment will be for 20 marks and final exam will be conducted for 80 marks. There are 3 textbooks which you have to refer for this particular subject. Operating System Concepts by Abraham, Linux Learning the Essentials by James, Linux A Practical Approach by Muhammad Ibrahim. Okay. Let us start with this particular subject. Now, as the subject title is operating system, first we have to think what is an operating system. We have to ask ourselves what is an operating system. So while explaining the concepts of operating system, I will be using the word OS instead of operating system for the better approaches. Okay, see, now the first question will be like, what is an operating system? An operating system is an interface between computer user and computer hardware. Okay, now I am pretty sure that everyone has used computer or system. It may be in your home or in a laboratory, isn't it? You would have used the device. Now, how you are going to use, what you are going to use with the computer, or how you are going to start the computer? Can you recall the actual methods you used to use the computer? So first you are going to switch on the computer. Then if there any credential need to be given, then you are going to give the credentials. That is nothing but the passwords. Then you are going to access the computer or files, or you are going to deal with the any kind of files which are present in the system, isn't it? With the help of mouse or keyboard. So that means you are an user and computer has got the hardwares, isn't it? That system has got the hardwares. It may be mouse, keyboard, monitor, hard disks, isn't it? Can you recall whatever the interactions you have done inside the laboratory or with your system in your home, isn't it? So operating system is nothing but an interface between the computer user and computer hardware. So as a user, if you want to work with the computer, there must be an operating system. Okay, if I want to give a real-time example, I am pretty sure that everyone has got smartphones in your hand, isn't it? So what is the version of operating system you are running? If you want to check, you can go to settings and about phone and you are going to get the version of the Android. If you are using Android smartphone, definitely it will show what version of Android you are running. And if you are using Apple, then iOS. Fine. And some of you may be using Windows phone as well. So each and every device you are using in your hand or you are using in your home, then it has got some operating systems, because it has to be operated well, or it has to be operated in an efficient manner. So operating system is nothing but an interface. Okay. An operating system is a program that manages all the basic tasks like file management, memory management, process management, handling input and output, and controlling peripheral devices such as disk drivers and printers. So that is the sentence they have given, or that is the definition they have given for this particular question. So it is nothing but, what is the meaning of that sentence? So operating system is a program that manages, because operating system you cannot touch it, you can just feel it. It is it's a kind of software, isn't it? It is not a hardware thing. So operating system is required for what are the benefits, or what is the work done by the operating system? It is required to manage the files. So in your system you may have n number of files with the different size, with the different extensions. It may be video file, audio file, image files, isn't it? You may be having n number of files. And in your phone also, if you open your phone, if you open your file manager, you have so many files, isn't it? It has to be managed in an efficient manner. It has to be given with its own name. It has to be sorted in a particular order. So each and everything is done by operating system. All the informations which are present in your system, it has to be maintained, isn't it? So operating system is essential to manage your files present in the device. Okay, next thing is memory management. So it is also an essential part in the device, isn't it? Memory has to be managed in a proper manner, otherwise there may be a chance of getting wasted. So memory has to be maintained. So I'm pretty sure that in your phone also you will be clearing the RAM, you will be clearing the you will be freeing up the memories, or you want to clear the RAM in every day, so that you can boost up your system, isn't it? It's a kind of management, it's a kind of memory management. Even though you don't do, operating system will take care of it. Okay, so this is one of the work done by the operating system. The third one is process management. What is process management? So whenever you run the applications, you would have seen multitasking concepts. So you may be opening some applications like camera applications. Let me give the example in your smartphone itself, because I'm not sure that you are most familiar with the computer systems. So even you are using smartphone and it has got the operating system as well. So for the explanation purpose, I can take any example. Okay, so if I take the example of your smartphone, so you will be using camera application, you will minimize that camera application and you directly jump to gallery application. After some time you jump to calculator application. After some time you may go to some social networking applications like Instagram or Facebook, and you minimize it, and after that you jump to YouTube application. So in the background you will be running so many applications, and each and every application has got its own process ID, or all those applications are nothing but processes. So all these processes have to be managed, isn't it? So it should not affect any other part of your phone or any other part of your device. So all this management is done by operating system. You have to remember, you have to think in that way. Okay, the fourth one is handling input and output. So it is a general question actually. Can you imagine, can you give some example for input and output? So if I take the example of your smartphone again, so if you are using your smartphone, so you will be unlocking your device, you will be opening some applications, so you are pressing that icon, it is an input, isn't it? So you are scrolling down some pages, it's a kind of input to the device. And if whenever you press the application, if the application getting opened, then it is an output from your device. So you have to imagine like that. So if you think, or if you take the example of your computer system, then you are pressing, if you are pressing the key in the keyboard, then it's an input, and the same alphabet or same word is popping out on the monitor, then it is a kind of output. That is nothing but the graphical representation given by the system on the monitor, isn't it? It is an example for output. So all these input and output things should be handled. So who will handle this? Operating system will handle this. Okay, now, and controlling peripheral devices. See, peripheral devices are nothing but, see, they have given disk drivers and printers. So you can take any kind of hardware devices which is plugged to the computer. So it may be mouse. I can take the example of joystick. If you are playing some games, then you may be using joystick. It may be keyboard, it may be pen drives, it may be any speaker devices, isn't it? So all those are peripheral devices. So whenever you plug in those devices to the computer, it has to be managed, it has to be taken care. So operating system will take care of it. Okay, so this is the brief introduction I can give on operating system. Now, why operating system is required? So what is the necessity of operating system? So if you do not have the operating system, then as a user, how you are going to interact with the hardware device? There has to be some interface, isn't it? There has to be some platform which is being used to access the details, or to access the information which is stored in the hardware device. So that is the reason why you require operating system. Okay, it is like a middleman. It is like a middleman between you and the hardware device. You have to imagine like that. Okay, an operating system is an important part of almost every computer system. A computer system can be divided roughly into 4 components. So the first component is hardware, the second component is operating system, and fourth one is application programs, and sorry, third one is application programs, and fourth one is users. Okay, so there are four components. See, hardware, you can give the example. What are the examples you can give for the hardware devices? So you can give monitor, you can give speaker, you can give mouse, you can give the example like keyboards, isn't it? So all those are hardware devices. Now operating system, whenever I say operating system, there are n number of operating systems. Probably you are familiar with the Windows. It may be Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, but we have some other flavors of operating systems as well, something like Linux. So Linux has got so many flavors. It may be Ubuntu, it may be Deepin, Zorin, Fedora, Red Hat, and Puppy Linux. So there are so many versions of Linux operating systems are available on the internet. So whenever if you want to try, you can try out. Okay, so you can install the operating system and you can see the look and feel of your system entirely, your system entirely getting changed. You can see that. Okay, and the last but not the least, so users. So without users, what is the use of operating system? If there are no users to use the computer system, then definitely you do not need the operating system, isn't it? So you have to think in that way, how you are dealing with the computer system in the real time scenarios. You have to imagine each and everything. And application programs. What are application programs? If I think about the computer system, see, browsers, you can say an application program, and video player, audio player, isn't it? And if you are using some games or calculator, so all those things are application programs, isn't it? And if you're using some social networking applications, that also considered as application programs. So all those application programs have to be maintained, and it has to be maintained with respect to the performance or efficiency. So all these things will be taken care by operating system. Okay. Now, see, this is the abstract view of the components of computer system. Okay, you can see there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so in this image, you can see there are n number of users, because one computer can be accessed by so many members, isn't it? Let me take the example of your laboratory itself. So if you are sitting in a particular computer or in a system, after you log out, anyone else can create his own account and he can log into that system, isn't it? So you are from BCA, your system can be accessed by some BCom students or arts students or any other students, or your system can be accessed by faculties also, isn't it? Each and every people have got their own account. Your system can be accessed by administrator. So that means one system can be given to many, and one system can be divided into many parts, like many parts in the sense many accounts. Fine. So how you are doing that? With the help of operating system. Okay, so see, one user is using compiler, another user can use text editor, and assembler and database system, isn't it? Those things are application programs. So you are logging to your system and you are using Turbo C. For example, you want to execute some C programs, you are opening Turbo C and you are running your program, and you are executing it, and you are closing your system and you are leaving from that particular place. After that, one BCom student will come there and he is going to access the same system with his own account, and he is going to open Tally application. Isn't it? That means a single system can be used for different environment to open the different application. Okay, this happens because of operating system. Without the help of operating system, it is not possible. Okay, so the next thing is, see, you can see in the image, see, there is a hardware component in the middle of your application program and hardware component. That operating system component lies. So that means if the application program wants to access the hardware, then it has to be accessed via operating system. That is the meaning. So if the user wants to access the hardware device, then you require an application as well as an operating system. Now what is the meaning of accessing the hardware device? See, hard disk is an hardware device, isn't it? It is a hardware device, right? So it can be touched, it can be, it can be installed. So why you need hard disk? To store something, isn't it? You want to store your movies or game files or images or music files or presentations or documents. It may be anything. You are going to store all those details in a hard disk, isn't it? If you want to access the hard disk, you can access the hard disk via operating system. That if you do not have that graphical representation of your hard disk or drives, isn't it? Whenever you open my computer, you can see so many drives. So that is nothing but the graphical representation, and whenever you double click on that, you will be taken inside the drive and you can see so many files inside the drive. So ultimately what you are doing as a user, you are trying to access the hardware device present in that particular system. That is possible only because of operating system. You have to remember like that. Okay, whenever in the next time, whenever you use a system, you think of it, you think the real time scenarios. What exactly I am doing with the system, how exactly it is working, what is the use of doing it. Okay, so it is better if you imagine like that. It will be easy for you to understand the concept of operating system. Okay, the next thing is the hardware. See, the hardware is nothing but, say, they have said the central processing unit, CPU, the memory, the input output devices, provides the basic computing resources. Okay, what is CPU? So it is the brain of your computer, isn't it? You can recall the concepts of computer organization. So control unit as well as processor unit, if you combine these two units, you are going to get CPU, isn't it? Processor unit is required to process the queries and control unit is required to control the overall flow of the work. Correct? If you combine these two components, you are going to get central processing unit, CPU. You can imagine, you recall all the bus architectures, and you can recall all the components available in your computer organization subject, or whatever the concept you learned in the previous semester. You can recall all those information. Okay, and I already said what is memory, why memory is required. If you want to store something, you need memory, you need place. So it is nothing but a hardware device, hardware component, so which is being installed to a particular system, and you are trying to access the memory to store the data or to retrieve the data. Fine. Now next thing is input output devices. Already I have given the example for input and output device. Okay, the next point is the components of computer system are its hardware, software and data. Okay, hardware, you are familiar with the concept of hardware. Software is nothing but any application which is being installed in the system and you are using those application for your benefits. It is nothing but a software. So to create the software, you have to program. So I'm pretty sure that you have already learned C programming. So C, that is nothing but you are creating some software, softwares. You are trying to create some softwares by using the programs. It is not an application program, definitely. If you want to create the application program, you would require Java, C# or Python. But in C also you have learned the basics of programming, isn't it? Now you can recall why you want to write the program, how exactly it works, how you are going to execute the programs. Each and everything has to be recalled now, because everything is required for operating system, because you are doing everything on the system, on the computer. If you are interacting anything on the computer, definitely you require operating system. Okay, now what is data? Data can be anything. If you are giving a particular input to the system, it is a kind of input, it's kind of data. If you are playing some videos, it's a data. If you are video data, it is a video data. If you are playing some music, it's a music data or audio data. If you are watching any viewing any images, then it is a image data. If you are preparing any presentation, it is nothing but a textual data or image data, because it may be a combination of text text as well as image. It's a kind of data. So whenever you deal with the computer system, each and everything is data, and it is important. Each and every data is vital. it is important, you have to preserve the data, and you have to maintain the privacy which is provided by the system for each and every data. Fine. Next thing is the operating system provides the means for the proper use of these resources in the operation of the computer system. So operating system will take care of these components. It may be hardware, software, or data. Now, operating system can be explored from two viewpoints. There are two viewpoints for operating system. One is user viewpoint, another one is system viewpoint. What is user viewpoint? Let me explain that. What is the user viewpoint? See, as a user, see, for example, let me give one real-time example over here. See, you want to buy one laptop. Okay, what are the main points you look for computer, or you look in computer before buying? So you definitely look for RAM, you definitely look for hard disk, you definitely look for this inches of that screen or monitor. You definitely look for whether your system has got webcam. Before giving the money, before buying any product, you will look for the keyboard architecture, or the performance of that particular device, and you will see the user feedback. Before giving the money, you will definitely go to sites, and you will see what are the feedback given by the other users, isn't it? These things are the user view. As a user, you will look for all these things. Say, they have said that the user view of the computer varies by the interface being used. Most computer users sit in front of a PC consisting of a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. So they have given this example because in the older times, before getting into the laptop era, they were using desktops, and each and every desktop has got its own monitor, its own keyboard, its own mouse, its own CPU, isn't it? So its own circuits and motherboard. So they were using all those components to work on computers. Okay, that is nothing but the user view. As a user, how you see the computer system. Some attention paid to performance and none paid to resource utilization. Definitely, if you are using a system, you will see how fast your system is, isn't it? If the system is getting hanged, definitely you get frustrated and you leave that system and you get into some other systems. So in a previous time, you would have visited so many cyber cafes. If you're cyber cafe, you are paying money for hours, isn't it? In an hourly basis. So if your system is hanging, or if your system is very slow, you will definitely scold that person. Please change the system. I need some system which is very fast, isn't it? So that is nothing but the performance of the device. So as a user, you will see how your device is performing, rather than paying the concentration on resource utilization. So I will say definitely in the future videos what is resource utilization, how your system uses the resources. What are the resources? That also I will say. See, hard disk is resource, and hardware devices are the resources. How exactly the operating system uses the resources, each and every concept will be coming into the picture in a detailed view, detailed path in the upcoming videos. Okay. The next thing is, some users sit at a terminal connected to a mainframe or mini computer. So what is the meaning? See, if you are working in any company, or if you are working for the organization, definitely the organization will provide some system. Okay, so you will be sitting in front of it and you will be performing some task. That is the meaning. Okay, the other users are accessing the same computer through other terminals. So it is nothing but remote logging. Okay, so if I want to give this terminal concepts, I can give the example of again hacking. So I usually take this particular example because you say, for example, you imagine you are sitting in your home and you want to try to access some other system which is in a remote position. So if you are getting connected to that particular server, definitely you can access all the files present in a remote system using terminals. There are so many techniques actually. Okay, that is nothing but it is also a user view, isn't it? As a user, you will be concerned that how exactly I can access the files which are stored in remote places. Fine. The next point is other users sit at a workstation connected to network of other workstation and servers. So this example can be imagined if you are working on a big organization, or so many organizations are consolidated together, and if you want to perform any work in that organization, then this point come into picture. So if you're working for the workstation and the workstation is connected with the other workstations, then definitely data flows within the workstations. Okay, so you can imagine only once you get into a company or an organization where you will be connected to rest of the systems, and you will be dealing or you will be sharing the files within the workstations. Okay, now the next point is some computers have little or no user view. For example, embedded computers in home devices and automobiles may have numeric keyboard and may turn indicator lights on or off to show status, but mostly they and their operating systems are designed to run without user intervention. So I can give the example like the touch screens available in your car, isn't it? Even it has got operating system, but it can be used just by pressing one button. You don't need to use any mouse or keyboard, or you don't need to use the touch screen frequently. Once if you press some button, it will be keep on working on it, isn't it? And there may be some displays in a smart fridge, or a fridge is nothing but that refrigerator. Okay, so all those things are embedded devices and it won't require human intervention. It will take care of itself. So there is no user view at that time, isn't it? You can imagine such kind of examples. Okay, now the next thing is system view. So how system see its particular resources from the point of operating system. Okay, from the computer's point of view, the operating system is the program that is most intimate with the hardware, definitely. So operating system, the main work of operating system is to club with the hardware devices. Without hardware, how can you work on a system, isn't it? How can you work on the computer? So operating system will mainly concentrate on hardware devices available in that particular system. A computer system has many resources, hardware and software, that may be required to solve a problem. CPU time, memory space, file storage space, IO devices, and so on. Okay, CPU time is nothing but CPU time will be calculated mainly for the performance purpose. Okay, so when we are going in depth with respect to this particular subject, you get to know that what is CPU time, how exactly you can schedule it, how exactly you can increase the CPU time, how exactly you can decrease the CPU time, how to efficiently work on this CPU time. So each and everything you are going to learn in the future videos. Okay, no need to worry much, but as of now, think that operating system will take care of CPU time. And memory space, already I have given the explanation for memory space. File storage also I have given examples, and IO devices already I have given. So operating system will take care of it, and it will manage the resources available in the computer system. Okay, the next thing is a slightly different view of an operating system emphasizes the need to control the various IO devices and user programs. An operating system is a control program. Definitely, if the operating system has to control each and every resources, then it needs that power, isn't it? It should have that caliber. If the operating system do not have the caliber, then how it will manage the resources, isn't it? So all these resources, it may be hardware resources, software resources, or data or files, it may be anything. It has to be managed in a efficient manner. So the operating system will take care of it. Okay, now the next point is system goals. What are the goals of the system? The primary goal of some operating system is convenience for the user, definitely. Because if the operating system is very complex, if as an user, if you cannot understand how exactly this operating system is working, then definitely you will feel frustrated, and you may leave that operating system and you may install some other operating system, isn't it? So graphical user interface of that operating system must be very easy. or it should be easy to use, and it should not give any complexity on you, or it should not give any complexity on a particular user or the end user. So definitely it will mainly concentrate on convenience of a particular user. Okay, that particular operating system must be very efficient, very easy to use, and graphical representation of anything must be very convenient. Now, operating system exists because they are supposed to make it easier to compute with them than without them. Okay, so usually computer will see that it has to establish its requirements to the users, isn't it? If it is present, then only user can compute anything. User can play the video, user can compute any, user can use the Tally applications or Excel sheets or calculator. It may be anything. User can use the system or computer for any purpose, and operating system must make sure that it provides all the required benefits to the end users. Okay, that is the system goal of that particular operating system. The next thing is batch systems. Okay, the operating system in these early computers was fairly simple. Its major task was to transfer control automatically from one job to the next. The operating system was always resident on memory. So what is the meaning of this sentence? See, if there are so many jobs running on the system, what do you mean by so many jobs? If you are multitasking, say for example you are opening the web browser, after some time you are opening your VLC video player, after some time you are using some music players, after some time if you are using some calculator application, after some time you are using MS Office, and all the processes, all the jobs are running in the background, definitely operating system has to take care of it, isn't it? Otherwise the operating system may crash, or your application may crash. If the application if the application is getting crashed, then definitely it won't provide a good impression on user. So operating system has to take care of this. So that is the reason why the operating system has gone for simple batch system. What is simple batch system? To speed up the processing, operators batched together jobs with the similar needs and ran them through the computer as a group. So it is clubbing together. In the simple batch system, it will club together all the jobs which are similar. They are being clubbed together so that they can run in a particular manner. Okay, that is the example I can give. That is the explanation I can give for this simple batch system. Okay, whenever you imagine the real world entities or real world examples, see for example, you are opening MS Word, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel and Microsoft PowerPoint. This is just an example. So what happens? See, all these applications are from MS Microsoft, isn't it? So that can be clubbed together for a particular place, and it can be executed in its own manner, isn't it? So that is what this simple batch system will do. You can see that image. You can see that image. So there are two parts: operating system as well as user program area. So operating system will monitor all the user programs which is being run in the system. Okay, it will take care of it. It will manage the resources. It will manage the synchronization. It will manage the memory management, each and everything. So operating system will take care of all the user programs. Okay. The next thing is, okay, the operator would sort programs into batches with similar requirements, and as the computer became available, would run each batch. Okay, the output from each job would be sent back to the appropriate programmer. The meaning is, if the program, if the CPU is busy in executing some programs, rest of the programs has to wait, isn't it? Now in your phone, in your smartphone, you have the option of splitting the screen. That means you can run two applications simultaneously. It is a specialty given in your particular smartphone. But when it comes to computer, we do not have the actual concept of splitting the screens. Okay, and you can see one more thing. See, if you are using videos, if you are using, say for example, in your smartphone you are using YouTube, and you minimize that, or you are going to split that particular thing to run another video or another, if you're trying to open VLC, you cannot run two videos simultaneously. Have you checked it? If you click play button in your YouTube, your VLC will pause, and if you want to play the video in VLC, your YouTube will pause. Have you ever seen that? That is because in one system two videos cannot be run simultaneously. Now researchers are doing experimentation on that, but it will be very difficult because it is not easy to develop such applications where two videos are running simultaneously in a same device. Okay, in computer system you can imagine there are some operating systems or some applications where you can run two voice notes or two music simultaneously. Probably you would have seen in some of the applications. But whenever you minimize it, whenever you split the screen, it is difficult to run two video files, isn't it? That is the best example I can give. Okay, so it has to be appropriately maintained. So that is nothing but operating system has to see what is the priority, what application has to be run first. Okay, so operating system will take care of it. Now the next point is the introduction of disk technology allowed the operating system to keep all jobs on disk rather than in a serial card reader. So all the jobs will be kept in disk. Disk is nothing but hard disk, so it requires some memory, isn't it? All the jobs has to be residing in a particular memory. If you do not have the memory in a computer system, where you are going to keep the application, where you are going to keep the application's data, where you are going to keep the files which is related to the application, isn't it? You require a disk, you require some memory space. If I want to give some real-time examples, you can imagine your phone also. So Android is a folder name which is being present in your file manager by default, isn't it? Whenever you switch on, whenever you buy a new phone, or if you put any card reader, or if you put any SD card, if you plug some pen drive to your smartphone, definitely there will be a separate folder being created in that particular memory space. Have you ever seen that? Try to see that, because whenever you plug a new device to a particular smartphone, operating system will create separate folder and it will keep that folder in that particular memory. So that is the meaning, that it has to keep all the jobs on a disk rather than a card reader. Okay, with the direct access to several jobs, operating system could perform job scheduling to use resources and perform tasks efficiently. So scheduling is nothing but what is the priority of the job, which job has to be executed first, which application has to be given the importance. So all these things will taken care by operating system. Operating system will manage all these things. Okay, the next thing is multi-programmed system. So previously it was batch system, now multi-programmed system. What is multi-programmed system? Now the operating system has to see how many jobs are running, how many applications are running. Now how application has to be executed efficiently, and operating system has to take care whether user requires any particular application at that particular moment. So it is not easy task for the operating system to calculate each and everything. It has to manage so many things. So that is the reason we say operating system is a complex program. It has to see each and every management. It may be scheduling, memory management, file management, or process management, or IO management, isn't it? Or user account management. There are so many things. So it has to be taken care by operating system. So whenever I think about this multi-programmed system, the most important aspect of job scheduling is the ability to multi-program. So that is nothing but if you schedule your jobs definitely that is it is understood that there are many programs which are being run in the system. Okay, a single user cannot in general keep either the CPU or IO devices busy at all times. Definitely, as a single user, you cannot keep each and every devices busy. You can use on a particular device. You can concentrate on particular device. You can concentrate on a particular application. Rest of the application will be running in the background. You cannot control over that. You do not have the control over that. Okay, so that is the meaning of that particular sentence. Multi-programming increases CPU utilization by organizing jobs so that CPU always has one. The idea is has the one. Okay, so that is nothing but, see, multi-programming will definitely increases the CPU utilization. Why? Because all the resources are being used by all these applications, isn't it? So when you are running multi applications, if you are doing multitasking, definitely there will be more burden on CPU, because you will be accessing so many resources. Your applications will be accessing so many resources. That means CPU will increase its utilization of the resources, isn't it? The idea is the operating system keeps several jobs in a memory simultaneously to execute. So it is easy to say, see, it is easy to write the sentence, but in the background, in actuality, how exactly it is doing? It has to keep its own memory. It has to create its own stack. It has to keep all the jobs in the memory in a particular order. When user requires a particular application, operating system has to fetch that particular application and it has to run, isn't it? So many things are happening in the background, but as a user, you sit in front of the system, you just see graphical representation, you just try to double click something and you watch the movie or play the game or browse the content. But in the background there will be so many works being done. Okay, and all the works are being taken care by operating system. Okay, so this is enough for today. So this is the basic introduction I can give to the operating system. Okay, so whenever you think about the operating system, you have to think that operating system is very complex. It has got a lot of jobs. It has got so many things to manage. Okay, it is not easy. And it has to take care of the performance, it has to take care of its size, it has to take care of the management, it has to take care of the users or accounts, it has to take care of the security and so many. Okay, so this is the introduction part of this particular subject, and we are going to learn in depth with respect to all these managements, and you have some problems on this subject, so you will learn and it will be very easy, and it will be very it's an important concept, because without operating system this computer field is nothing, isn't it? You require an operating system to work on these devices. So it is very important subject. You have to think of if you are going to think all the technology and all the concepts which are available, then you require operating system. Okay, so let me stop here, and rest of the things will be given in the next video.